Hello heathens, Adam here filling in for Sophia for the month. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to join in, really looking forward to it. So the question is, how necessary is money? What is money? What role does it play within society for good or bad? And is there any other way of going about things that doesn't involve the use of money? So I think I really agree with Moser on this, that money is essentially a tool to simplify the act of trade between individuals, and instead of having to keep massive stockpiles of different resources that we can trade with, we just have tokens in a way that represent resources or the value of them, and that is used to make the actual trade, and then you can take that token whenever you want and actually trade it in for a resource. It also allows people who don't have any resources or access to them to still partake within trade, which I think is fairly important. A purely resource-based form of interaction would exclude a lot of people, and I think that would be a serious problem. I think that system is the best, most efficient and fairest one that we've come up with so far. Like I said, the idea of a resource-based economy, while there may be aspects of that could be applied to large-scale financial transactions between, say, governments, that's not going to work on an individual level. That will actually overcomplicate things, and actually that would be like a step backwards for society, and I don't think society should ever step backwards in that way. We need money because we need some way of simplifying the act of trade. In regards to whether or not there is another way of doing things, I suppose there are other ideas as to how we could manage trade, but I think that the one that we have is the best one available, and that, you know, the others are flawed far more than the system we do work with. And because there are problems with the system that we have, which, you know, there definitely are. No system is perfect, but there are definitely problems there. Doesn't mean that we should just scrap it and start over again. We should attempt to fix the problems that exist within the system and manage them. And, you know, if we just pull a year zero and restart every time we realise there's a problem, then we're not going to get anywhere, are we? So, in regards to the Venus Project, I think that there are certain elements that are really great there. Things like a focus upon space colonization and is important. It's something that we need to think about, and that overall we don't seem to be thinking about. However, economics aren't really their strong point, and I think that the proposed system that they have is a rather naive one that doesn't really take into account how society works, how groups interact with each other and whatnot. You know, we're selfish, greedy little things, and although that's not a good thing, we do need to acknowledge that that is there, and we need a system that kind of manages that greed and keeps it under control, which I don't think theirs does. I think their system is far too reliant upon people being nice to each other, which is a nice idea, and maybe one day in the future when we'll be able to go down that road. But as it is, I don't think that it's going to work if we just pull a year zero and switch over to a new system overnight. That's kind of overall the problem I have with the Venus Project and groups like them. They have far too much of a focus upon what's going to be happening in 100 years and not enough focus on what's going to be happening next year. So that's it. I'm not sure if I actually had a concrete point in all of that. Money, good idea, has problems with it. Problems should be addressed instead of just trying to find a new idea. Yeah.